A D N.
It's HeadphonesNeil!
What's up, guys, and welcome back to HeadphonesNeil Reviews. I'm your host, as always, HeadphonesNeil, bringing you a quick and short update episode for this week as we head into the Thanksgiving holiday for the United States. So I'm going to have a quick announcement video review, movie review, TV show review, and then round it out with the master levels for Doom update. So, to start it off with this week, we got a bit of random news in the form of a Stargate TV show coming soon announcement to Amazon Prime via MGM Studios. It's not gonna be a reboot, and it's gonna be a new chapter in the franchise. So the biggest two things are solved right off the bat. So they're not gonna redo what they did in the past, and they're gonna add to the existing lore. So fantastic news there. They didn't share too much information, so we don't know exactly when it's going to come out, what it's going to be about, what the plan is, or anything like that. So they did say they're still working on the social media platforms and more news and all that, and coming soon, basically. So I think they kind of just wanted to put it out there to generate buzz and get it out there that something new is coming soon. So beyond that, that's all there really is. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of hoping, or the one other bit of news that they did mention is it's going to be a true to life continuation of the story. So since the last so like if, and I don't have the dates in front of me, so like if the show ended, in 2010 or whatever, they're going to do a 15-year progression of time. So it's going to be a real time moving forward. So how the real world is now, they're going to integrate that into the show. So I'm curious to see what they do. I'm kind of hoping they do something like, Teal'c is now leader of the Jaffa Nation. Carter runs the SGC and off-world operations. Daniel is part of intergalactic, kind of like the leader of the intergalactic UN kind of thing, because of he's the most experienced person and all of that. So I don't know. I mean, that's speculation on my part. It's hopeful and wishful thinking, but it is something that something that they do along those lines and keep true to the existing stuff. I figured they could also do something along the lines of Destiny finally makes it back to Earth, and they used the Asgard technology and the ancient ship to progress human technology and advance the human race and Earth and lead that into intergalactic expansion or something along those lines. So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure we'll get more news and more information in the coming months and all that, but great news that we're getting a new Stargate show. So I am going to go back and rewatch at least the original films and trilogy of films and Stargate SG-1, my favorite set in the shows. Atlantis and Universe were fine, but in my recent rewatches, they were pure spin-offs and not they were integrated well enough, but they did still feel like offshoots. So I'm going to stick to the original trilogy of films and Stargate SG-1. On that note, I also had a chance to get through The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, and overall still holds up, still a good film, still a good start to the trilogy of films. It's one of those things where it feels like, where I know like certain things happen in the second and third films, but sometimes it's easier to forget if you haven't watched it in a while that it is truly about building the Fellowship of the Ring, and then it starts to fall apart because of the potential loss of Gandalf, Boromir's turn and his ultimate death at the orcs. Frodo and Sam end up leaving on their own, so that quest has actually started. So all of that different stuff. So all in all, a good start, and I can't wait to get into the Two Towers again and watch that, and then round it out with Return of the King. So but it's also one of those things where the special effects for me hold up. I like that they smoothed it out to the point where it's not like it's so smooth and clean that you think something looks weird, but then it's also like granular and like nitty and gritty to the point where it's not like terribly dark. It's or just dark where it needs to be. It looks kind of like it's like made modern, but in like the 80s. So it's not like DVD quality, but it's 4K, for example, or it's VHS quality but cleaned up or whatever. So it's one of those things where they did a good balance of all of that stuff, so it still holds up as far as the visuals, the acting, the sound, and all of that stuff. So with that being said, I also had a chance to watch the rest of Young Sheldon. Enjoyed all of it up until the point where, and I mean, I did know that in the last episodes, they talk about Sheldon's father passing away, so I knew that was coming, but it still is one of those things where now that you see how Sheldon felt about not talking to his dad, thanking him, appreciating him more, how much his dad held in, how much he did as far as dealing with the 3 children, his wife, and neighbors and everything, and all of that stuff. It all holds up very well to the point where they did a very good job. And then the whole thing about, at the end about Sheldon getting baptized, Amy finding out that he did that for his mom to make her happy and all of that stuff. So all in all, very good show, very well worth it. Makes me want to rewatch The Big Bang Theory and see how all of that holds up. So not much to say there. I mean, if you watch The Big Bang Theory, not much beyond what I said before. Good show. You see a lot of the mannerisms in young Sheldon versus old Sheldon. I like the random scenes they had of young Raj, Wolowitz, and Leonard, to the point where I kind of wish they have a spin-off show for young Sheldon's friends, or Young Bang Theory or something like that, or what young Big Bang Theory or something like that, and cover all the other characters. But that's neither here nor there. So now into the master levels for Doom 2. Continuing in the progression of levels, overall it still is a good set of levels. The only thing that's kind of weird is when you have sorry, I was going to say that because I was thinking about the Black Tower again in my research for that, but as far as these sets of levels, as far as like the Combine and Subspace and all of those go, I want to say probably Paradox was my favorite. It was very castle-like and fit well into that mix between classic Doom and Doom the Dark Ages. I did also end up going back to figure out how to do some of the secrets and stuff, because I was like, it is awfully weird that there's not too many secrets that I went around and was able to get, but I do like they're spending more time with things like teleportation and hidden rooms and having to double back on yourself and that sort of stuff. So I know there's a lot of things, or a lot of commentary that is unnecessarily hard, but I guess for the casual player, for me, like with the difficulty setting I'm on, it all falls into place nicely enough. Like, I don't have anything negative to say about it. I do like that it's more puzzle-like, and I think more puzzle-like, and you have to figure stuff out. So I think it's one of those things where I do like that you have to spend more time. You not only get to enjoy some of the new level designs and how the setup and all of that stuff, but they kind of add to the depth that it's not necessarily going to be easy or anything like that. And I want to say Titan Manor is potentially also not Titan Manor, but Titan Manor looks like it's also going to be a good episode or a good set of levels. But regardless, it's one of those things where the level designs are unique, and I kind of want to now go and look to see if like some of these artists set up those levels in other WODs or mods or anything like that, to see if they expanded on the story of what they tried to do on these singular level designs. But in any case, I'm still enjoying it. I like the levels, and I kind of wish that they had expanded a little bit to make it a more cohesive story. But in any case, the current Steam order of the levels is fun and enjoyable to play. So that's actually all there is for this particular episode. So currently don't have a schedule planned for an episode for Thanksgiving week. So we'll resume after that. So by then I should have the 2 towers completed, and then we'll continue with the reviews for Doom, or the master levels for Doom 2. Now that we're not necessarily halfway, but we're into a little bit of Doom 2, but master levels for Doom 2, but the gameplay after that is going to be my replay for Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords. I did see that there's a way to potentially play the missing planet M478, the droid planet, on mobile, so I'm going to give that a shot. If that works out, then perfect, I'll play that. It'll be included in the gameplay. I'm going to keep the character matching to my most recent Knights of the Old Republic 1 gameplay, to keep that in line, as far as characters staying on the light side, female, and all of that stuff. After that, I am looking into another Knights of the Old Republic 2 mod. It's called Knights of the Old Republic 3. I think it's KOTOR 3 Jedi Masters or something like that. So, it's kind of like a Star Wars Legends thing, like when we have Luke's nieces and nephews and his kids and Mary Monroe Jade, like that kind of environment as far as post the fall of the Empire, and the Republic is still trying to rebuild, so it's kind of like the Wild West. So that's kind of the feeling I get for the story arc of that. So if that does work on mobile, I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes, play through it. If it doesn't work, then I'll move on to either more Doom mods or GTA 3, the original definitive version of the game. So that's all there is for this particular episode. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, or anything like that, on the social media links are all on the website at HeadphonesNeil.reviews. All of the gameplay and audio version of the podcast can be found at youtube.com/PatelN01. But that is all for this particular episode. Thanks for tuning in.